Hello, welcome to Mayday Media. 65, single, seeking a roommate. Cost of living is out of control. Smash the like button, subscribe, comment, help me out a little bit. I'm going to read a little bit on this article to you. It's pretty sad. We're going to pop over and watch a little news article on the same thing. Guys, it's, I've got about, 18 years since till I hit that number, something like that, and I'll be living in a tent probably outside in a ditch. Some of you might be there too. David West raised 4 kids in Los Angeles working as a Hollywood cinematographer. No mean feat in such a pricey city, but a few years ago his life took a hard turn. Everything's went south. Divorce, my brother died, my dog died. On top of that, a string of clients who'd hired him for decades also passed away. Before long, he'd burned through cash and damaged his credit. He moved to Fresno, California. Now at 72, West is in a situation he never imagined at this stage of life, but one that more and more older people are facing: renting a room in a home of a complete stranger. Now, if he's got 4 kids, can he not get a camper and move into the back? 'Cause that was always something I had thought. If I'd had kids and I got to a certain age, I'd want to be around my kids and my grandkids or whatever, and move in a camper around back. I'm there, but I'm not there, you know what I mean? I tried to move like an apartment's worth of stuff into a room, he said, with a laugh at how impossible it seemed. How do you do that? I still haven't figured it out. You got to rent a little storage space, and just, if you got those kinds of personal belongings, big personal belongings. I've lived in rooms, and you got to live differently if you live in a room. You need less but higher quality. Really, that's the best way to do it. West looked into a housing subsidy, but his income is just over the limit, so he's grateful for the cost savings of a house share. His roommate, also an older man, covers Wi-Fi, utilities, and cable. West volunteers his photography skills at the church where the man is involved and shares his Costco membership. It's that give and take thing, he said. It's trying to help each other out as much as possible. Roommates are skewing older. The high cost of housing means more people are being priced out of not only owning a home but also renting a home. The share of adults 65 and older looking to rent with a roommate has tripled in the past decade, according to the listing site Spare Room. There's not the biggest group of roommates, but there are the far and fastest growing, said the site's communications director. Spare Room finds that roommates in general are skewing older. Young people are living with their parents longer, unable to afford moving out, or simply trying to save up. Can't afford to even move out. Meanwhile, more people in their 50s, 60s, and older are unable to make it on their own. Maybe 10 years ago, they'd have looked at one bed or a studio and thought, well, I'll rent that. Now they're looking at prices and going, there's no way I can afford it. Yeah, really. I mean, who can? Baby boomers have been aging as housing costs across the U.S. have spiked. In 2023, more than a third of households headed by adults 65 and older struggle to pay housing costs, according to the Joint Center of House Studies. 65%, more than a third of households headed by adults 65 and over struggle to pay housing costs. That is the boomers. So I don't think that the boomers are really getting anything more. I mean, they do have a little more, but they were lied to, and just like everybody else. Other adults are more likely to be housing cost burden than working age adults, and that gets more severe with age. It climbs up the income scale, so more and more, middle income people are struggling with housing costs than ever before. Yeah, it's something you can find a little home and just rent to seniors. A little 5-bedroom house, rent them all to seniors. I mean, you ain't gonna have nothing tore up. They'll probably clean up after themselves. No parties. The shock is enormous, and we see it very clearly in our data how the debt burden goes up and financial vulnerability goes up. People were more likely to fall behind in debt payments, for example, see their credit score drop, file for bankruptcy, and face foreclosure. Oh, I think it's wonderful, maybe more the way people used to live. I said, who's 74, has rented with her roommates for years, though she's currently house sitting in Minnesota. She loves the flexibility of not being tied down and being able to move where she wants, and she thinks not living alone is healthier. She's got along especially well with one roommate who also was an older woman. We had a lot in common, and that's pretty special when that works out. So, here's a 74-year-old woman, a 70s whatever year old man renting rooms to survive. Probably got jobs on the side, you know how that goes. But pretty wild, isn't it? Getting bad. Look at those stairs. Look at that. 87-year-old lives with roommate, and he works 3 days at Costco. Huh. Isn't that sad? Guys, something's going to have to break. Something's going to have to give. I mean, we've got, billions going overseas. In fact, I've got a story right here, arms sales, congressional. I'm going to do that one later. I might use my open source to do it. I mean, it's just on and on, non-stop. And this is just this year. But anyway, like, subscribe, comment. Tell me what you think about this. Do you know anybody that's in this situation? Thank you.